First of all, I would like to make the playoffs, but personally, I think every rookie wants to win the Rookie of the Year.
Most people think that being the greatest basketball player is all about raw skill and highlight plays. But that belief only scratches the surface of what it really takes to create a lasting legacy. In fact, skill alone only makes up a small part of the equation. The real secret lies in a combination of impact, consistency, and timing. Something that's especially true for international players trying to cement their place among NBA legends. But what if I told you that Luka Doncic is rewriting the rules of greatness and doing it faster than anyone before him? Today, we'll break down how he's redefining what it means to be an international superstar and why he might just be the greatest to ever do it. Let's take a journey back to when Luka Doncic was just 16 years old, playing professionally in Europe. It's a path almost unheard of for most American players, who usually take the high school to college to NBA route. But Luka was different. As a teenager, he was already competing at the highest level in the EuroLeague, facing grown men with years of experience. At just 19, he led Real Madrid to a EuroLeague championship and was named MVP of the tournament. This is where the narrative around Luka started to change. He wasn't just a promising prospect, he was destined for greatness. When Luka declared for the NBA draft in 2018, there was skepticism. Some doubted whether his European success would translate to the NBA. But he wasted no time proving them wrong. In his rookie season with the Dallas Mavericks, Luka averaged nearly a triple-double, 21 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Therefore, he earned Rookie of the Year honors and put the league on notice. He wasn't just fitting in, he was dominating. But here's the real kicker. While most young players take a few seasons to truly find their footing, Luka was already setting records. By his second season, he became the youngest player in NBA history to record a 30-point triple-double in the playoffs. How many players can say that? Therefore, his rapid rise started a conversation. Could Luka be the fastest international player to enter the greatest ever debate? To understand just how remarkable Luka Doncic's career trajectory is, we need to compare him to some of the greatest international players the NBA has ever seen. First up, Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk was a pioneer, showing the world that European players could be just as dominant as their American counterparts. But let's put things into perspective. By the age Luka is now, Dirk was still adjusting to the league. His first few seasons in Dallas were solid, but they were nowhere near the MVP level he eventually reached. Luka, on the other hand, has been an MVP candidate since his sophomore season. And then there's Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Greek freak burst onto the scene with his freakish athleticism and versatility. But even Giannis, who has 2 MVP awards and an NBA championship, wasn't as polished early in his career as Luka is now. Giannis needed time to refine his game, but Luka came into the league fully equipped, already a master of footwork, passing, and reading defenses. Therefore, while Giannis built his way to greatness, Luka is accelerating at a pace we've never seen before from an international star. But what about Hakeem Olajuwon? The 2-time NBA champion and one of the greatest centers of all time had an extraordinary impact, especially on defense. His footwork in the post is legendary. However, Luka's dominance lies on the offensive end, where he can score, pass, and control the game with an uncanny ease. The question becomes, can Luka ever match Hakeem's influence in terms of championships and legacy? Therefore, Luka's journey is not just about accumulating individual accolades, but about matching or surpassing the team success of players like Dirk, Giannis, and Hakeem. Yet what makes Luka even more intriguing is how he's already overshadowing international stars like Pau Gasol and Tony Parker. Gasol was a 2-time champion and Parker a Finals MVP. But Luka's early numbers make their careers look almost pedestrian in comparison. But even with all these comparisons, the real challenge remains: winning a championship. So what makes Luka Doncic so special? Why is he considered one of the most unique players in NBA history, let alone among international stars? First, it's his unbelievable basketball IQ. Luka's ability to read defenses is unmatched. He sees plays develop before anyone else, and his decision-making is elite. Most young players take years to develop this kind of court vision, but Luka, He's been orchestrating offenses like a seasoned veteran from day one. His step-back three-pointer has become one of the most unguardable moves in the game. It's a weapon that keeps defenders on their heels, therefore opening up driving lanes for him to exploit. But Luka isn't just a shooter, he's a playmaker. His passes thread the needle with precision, and his size allows him to see over smaller defenders. Therefore, he can create opportunities that other guards simply can't. But let's not overlook his physicality. Luka isn't the fastest or most explosive athlete, but he uses his body to shield defenders and get to his spots. His footwork in the paint is reminiscent of old-school post players, and his ability to draw fouls makes him a nightmare to guard. Therefore, while some critics focus on his lack of top-tier athleticism, Luka proves that basketball is as much about skill and smarts as it is about pure physical talent. Another aspect that sets Luka apart is his clutch performance. Time and time again, he's delivered in high-pressure moments. Remember that game-winning shot over the Clippers in the 2020 playoffs? It was a defining moment, one that established Luka as not just a regular season star, but a player who shines when it matters most. But even with all his heroics, the conversation around his legacy always circles back to one thing. Can he win a championship? Let's talk about the biggest obstacle standing between Luka Doncic and true greatness: championships. In the NBA, legacy isn't just measured by stats or MVP awards. It's defined by rings. Players like Dirk Nowitzki and Hakeem Olajuwon solidified their places in history by leading their teams to the promised land. Therefore, no matter how spectacular Luka's individual achievements are, the narrative will always be incomplete without a championship. And that brings us to the current state of the Dallas Mavericks. Luka has shown he can single-handedly carry a team to the playoffs, but deep postseason runs require more than one superstar. Enter Kyrie Irving. When the Mavericks traded for Kyrie, it was a gamble, a move that could either elevate them to contender status or create more questions about team chemistry. Kyrie is one of the most talented scorers in the league, but his fit with Luka has been a hot topic of debate. Therefore, the partnership between Luka and Kyrie is critical. Can they develop the kind of chemistry needed to win in the postseason? Will Luka be able to adjust his ball-dominant style to make room for another superstar? But even beyond their on-court synergy, the Mavericks need to surround Luka with the right pieces. The NBA has shown that having two stars isn't always enough. Depth and defense matter just as much. And let's not forget the Western Conference is loaded with competition. From Nikola Jokic's Denver Nuggets to LeBron James and Anthony Davis in Los Angeles, winning a title will be a battle. Therefore, the question isn't just about Luka's individual brilliance, but about whether his team can rise to the occasion. If he can lead the Mavericks to a championship, it would redefine his legacy. But if he falls short, critics will continue to question whether he's more like a modern-day Charles Barkley, a phenomenal talent without a ring. Now let's address the ultimate question. Could Luka Doncic become the greatest international player ever? It's not just a matter of individual brilliance. To truly surpass legends like Dirk Nowitzki, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Hakeem Olajuwon, Luka needs more than jaw-dropping stats. He needs championships. But given his trajectory, the path to greatness is there for the taking. What if Luka wins multiple championships and continues to put up historic numbers year after year? His career would completely transform how we view international stars, making him the gold standard for future generations. But here's the twist. Greatness isn't guaranteed. Injuries, team dynamics, and the ever-evolving landscape of the NBA could throw roadblocks in his way. Therefore, even with all his potential, the story of Luka Doncic remains unwritten. So where does this leave us? The debate about Luka's place in history is far from settled, and that's what makes this journey so thrilling. Will he go down as the greatest international player the NBA has ever seen, or will he be remembered as someone who couldn't quite reach the summit? The clock is ticking, and every game adds another chapter to his legacy. And that's why you won't want to miss a moment of what comes next. Because in the world of sports, everything can change in an instant. Therefore, as Luka continues to redefine expectations, one thing is certain: we're witnessing history in the making. The question is, how will it all end?
I only say scoring is easier in NBA.
So you think it's harder to score 30 points in a EuroLeague game than it is in an NBA game?
Yeah, 100%.
4 seconds. Got it from Kleba. Again late in the clock. In desperation.
Doncic has the ball, down by 2.
There's the switch.
Gobert is out there. Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it! What a shot!
I don't totally understand. I know they wanted to switch back with McDaniel, but Lively did a great job getting out of there.
But Coach, look at this. He had him on skates from the beginning. My goodness.
I agree.
Dancing with the stars, whatever you want to call it. Rudy Gobert had zero chance in contesting this shot here by Luka.
To be in so many different spots on the floor because of that versatility and impactfulness defensively, that leaves him out of position for rebounds. And so, yeah, the free offensive glass. Gafford being the anchor of that. Did Luka get the credit?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Boy, it's another Luka D. 3:20 left in the first quarter. Low block situation for Tyus Jones. Jones determined to drive it. Oh, and a swat out of bounds by Luka. Locked down Doncic.
That's what he's telling us.
He didn't give up on that play, though. He stayed in pursuit.
Go quick here. I'd get up and get 2 guys on him right now. Doncic with the desperation.
The absolute last thing you wanted to do. And again, guys, I've been part of some 4-point play on the other end here. You just have to stay away from Doncic. Wow.
22-19 Dallas, inside 5 to play, first quarter.
You got to be ready to help.
That's to Gafford.
That's why they wanted Gafford. That's the reason that Luka Doncic at a high level. You see, Miles Turner is really like size, little switch that time for the Maverick, and a tough finish by Mitchell.
Drive by Luka and a fancy finish with a foul.
When in doubt, get the ball to the rim. Luka off the bounce against Max Strus. Mobley comes over, not enough on the challenge. And Luka shows us some more magic.
He's got 4 made threes, so Green is not going to give him any airspace at the 3-point line, and his runner is missed.
Good pass.
Over the top, P.J. Washington caught it! To the end of the floor, and then, you know, a big part of the Mavericks' up-tempo this year.
Tend to hurt you.
Luka fouled, and 1!
Here's a look at it. There's the reach, and there's Luka's head right up to the basket. Spectacular touch that time.
Oh, another banger for Dallas. It's Lively. Pinpoint accuracy to set it up for the slam. 7-0 run.
Or pressure their coach into it even when they know they're wrong. It's Doncic leans in and finishes.
We already saw what he just did to Drew Holiday, walking him down. This is even more of a mismatch. I understand that, you know, you're going to live with him beating you by 2.
Luka, tough defense by Olynyk, really crowded him after he picked up the dribble. Found an outlet in Washington. Back to Doncic. Fade away. Oh my goodness! Blow out the candles. Foul as well.
You know the special thing about that, he knew exactly where the clock was.
Defensive board slap away by Green. Doncic is running. Right down the middle for Doncic. Lob and slam! Gliding through the air, it's Jones. Early on, it's been the Derrick Jones Jr. show for the Mavs.
That was some good one-on-one defense right there.
And a good pass. Green soaring and scoring. And another QB1 pass from Luka.
To the pass over the top. Josh Green knows to do with it. Throw it down.
You got both Irving and Doncic off the ball on the opening possession. And again, Harris will chase Luka. Nice pass inside to Lively.
Yeah, that's a part of his game. He doesn't get enough credit. And the step back. Range is not a factor. And then he'll make the pass.
Brown gets inside. Layup short. Rebound Doncic looking to push. Alley-oop to Gafford. Oh, perfect connection.
Luka is pushing the basketball. Watch how fast he's going. This is a noticeable difference from earlier in this series, and now the 5th alley-oop in this series for the Dallas Mavericks.
Let's just say the margin stays this way. From a player perspective,
but something positive to build on is very much needed right now. And Luka tosses in a shot and draws the foul.
Create a little bit of contact.
And then Zach LaVine and Patrick Williams also out.
The 3 of your main guys out, it's tough.
Looking off the defense, Luka to Gafford, and patiently waits for his opportunity to force his way up through the defense and score.
Lively, 15 points in the first half. It's not what I would expect, coming to this.
Well, it worked out nicely for Dallas. And here's a deep paint catch for Lively.
Take off and get the rebound, but recognition on the trap here. Can't leave the basket open.
It happens even to great shooters sometimes.
Was drifting almost out of bounds on that shot. Now Trace Jackson-Davis up in the air, and the ball down in the hoop, and a chance for 3 the old-fashioned way by the league's #1 scorer.
Pump fake off the step back, right through contact. And if you don't follow him hard enough, Luka magic will happen to you.
Doesn't look like he jumped on that. Straight
Just
up.
an itty-bitty bit off the floor, maybe.
I don't think he jumped.
Here's Sohan leading his feet, and he was at the mercy of the offense and at the mercy of the #1 scorer in the NBA, averaging over 34, already has 5, shooting a free throw for 6.
Oh, the thing with Luka is, one, he's skilled, very skilled as a player.
Irving up to 22 points, working with Doncic here. Doncic, step back 3, you bet!
And Luka getting to his left, that step back, the amount of distance that he gets away from the defender is remarkable. And he's just kind of laughing and joking.
Doncic defense here in the first quarter. The spin, the layup, banks it in. 10 straight points by the Mavericks.
Well, again, this was off the steal. True Holiday spin cycle. He just is so good at using his body, his strength, his footwork.
One of those physical players that plays in the backcourt.
Here's Luka loving, and Gafford crams another one home.
You get to step here on that high screen, holds it out there. Touch pass right on the money.
He didn't do as much last year. He was reluctant to shoot that mid-range, doing a much better job.
Wow. To Gafford.
I was going to make this point earlier.
Doncic to go to the free throw line. He was fouled by Irving.
You see that? Just a beautiful decision there by Luka.